What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. Today we are hanging out with Toyota and we're taking a look at the slightly updated 2025 Toyota Sienna. This one is an XSE, finished off in beautiful ruby flare pearl, and the MSRP as tested is $49,500. So we're gonna take a full look. There's some nice slight updates here and there for the new Sienna. Let's get right into it. Underneath the hood of the 2025 Toyota Sienna, this is only gonna be a hybrid power plant. You're gonna find the 2.5 liter inline 4-cylinder paired to an eCVT transmission. This XSE is front wheel drive. Net horsepower is 245 with about 176 pound-feet of torque, and you're gonna expect about 36 miles per gallon. This vehicle can also tow about 3,500 pounds. Curb weight is 4,600 pounds, and it features an 18-gallon fuel tank. The wheelbase is 120.5 with overall length at 204. The height is 69 inches, and then width is 78.5 inches. Ground clearance is also about 6.4 inches. So moving on to the exterior styling with the 2025 Toyota Sienna, this XSE is kind of the sporty trim level. So you're gonna see a lot of blacked out accents just to give it a little bit more aggressive design. We do have that blue Toyota badge right in the center, also a safety sensor, but the blue indicates that it's a hybrid. And then you can see the gloss black trim cutting away from it. This front bumper is massive with a huge design for this mesh finish in the gloss black. We also have parking sensors and a pretty nice look for this front splitter. So it definitely looks super sporty. You wouldn't expect a minivan to have this kind of aggressive face, but it's kind of cool that Toyota does that. You got a nice set of LED headlights with the daytime running lights and a really nice set of 20-inch wheels featuring the split spoke design and a really nice gunmetal gray color with a cool textured look. So a really neat looking design. At the side, as you can expect, the minivan has some size to it. You have a really nice sharp body line throughout it, really cool contours for the rear fender arch, and then there's even gloss black down below for the side skirts, and there's even a sensor right here, it looks, which is a cool touch. So doing that, hands-free, we can open up the side doors, and on top of that, you even have a button on the key fob to do the same thing, and then depending on how you want to close it, you can just press the button or just grab the handle and close it. So Toyota's wanting to make this extremely easy for the family. If you're buying this, you got kids you're going in the back and you want to make sure this is gonna be easy to use. We got all black trim surrounding the windows, and it's a pretty sleek looking minivan, quite honestly. In back, you had a nice size window. There's also the windshield wiper back here, all blacked out emblems. Again, you got the blue design around the Toyota badge, really sleek looking XSE logo. You have the hybrid logo on the left, and a pretty sporty looking rear diffuser with all of your parking sensors, reflectors, and a nice body color section down below. So Toyota definitely makes some sporty cars in their lineup, and they're adding that style to the Sienna, which is a great touch. Now let's take a look at some of the interior now. We have the power operation for this liftgate to make it super easy. And look at all the space you're gonna get back here. You can fit a couple Costco trips down here. This is gonna be a really practical car. There's a little bit of storage up in here, and then a nice cubby on this left side cutout, which is a really cool touch. Now for this third row, you're gonna have adjustable headrests that also fold, depending on if you need the better visibility. And then if you grab this lever right here and pull it back, you can actually completely get these folded out of the way. So if you wanna use this for even more items or something, these are gonna fold down nice and flat, and you have quite a lot of cargo space just to make it that much more practical. And then if I just lift this up, let it lock into place, and we can pull this down, and you can also see the recline that we're gonna get. So overall, this is really seamless. Doesn't take that much muscle to lift up these seats. So I think, if you're gonna be doing this on the day-to-day quite a lot, it's a really easy third row to operate. And then right up here, we can easily close the lift gate. So let's go on to the interior. I can just grab this door handle as well. It's gonna automatically open up. And for the second row seating on the XSE, we're gonna get these nice captain's chairs. So they're finished off in the black Softex material. There is red stitching with a pretty cool contour throughout them. There's even adjustable armrests on the left side as well as the right side. And then inside there's even storage nets, which is a good spot that could double for cups or maybe cell phones or something like that. So pretty cool to see that. We have our recline lever as well, and these recline a pretty good amount. Now at 5'11", I could be on a long road trip back here. Plenty of headroom, plenty of legroom, can't complain. And then there is this lever right here. We can slide this way forward and really far back. Wow, I'm almost into the third row. That is insane. Man, if you want to use this as a limo or something, this has a ton of space. Now, to take a look at the third row, we can just pull up on this recline lever, and it's gonna put those up together. You can see how this bottom actually got up, and then we can easily slide this all the way forward and you can get into that third row. So you have extra cup holders. There are air vents up in the ceiling. There's 2 USB ports on this far right side. And of course, you're able to recline these seats more or less depending on what you need. So once again, pretty roomy and practical. Can't really complain. And I like how you have that walkway through the center to where if you do have maybe one seat out of the way, you can easily mix and match seats, of course, if you wanted to change it up. On the door panel, you're going to notice we do have operations to lower the window. There's even manual sunshade, so I can pull these up, which is a really cool touch. We have a cup holder down below, a little bit extra storage, and then very easily we can just grab the handle. It's going to slide open, and we have a massive handle up here to easily hop out. And on top of that, we have a power button right here that you can press to close that door. So really any way you want to, you're able to operate the door. We have our grab panel up above. We have the air vents as well and the dome lights. Storage behind these seats, extra cup holders as well. And then check this out. We have all of our climate control settings. They're going to be located in the ceiling. So for a family hauler, you have quite a lot back here. And then we even have 2 charge ports up here on that center console. So Toyota Sienna's back seat and third row. This is one roomy family car. I can just tap that button as I hop out and we're going to automatically close it. Moving on to the driver's seat now. As you can tell with the XSE, you got that sporty touch, so you're gonna see the red stitching with the black Softex, and then a pretty cool texture design for the plastic trim, all of your controls as expected, and then extra storage all throughout the door panel. And then for the driver's seat, take a look at the cool texture on the back. That's what we saw on the back row as well. There's a cool look to it, some red stitching, some black stitching, and then all of your power controls are gonna be located right on that side. So if I go ahead and hop inside now, to the left over here, we do have some extra storage. So that's a good spot maybe to put your key. We have some trip buttons here, automatic headlights, and then you have your power doors. You can turn them on and off. And then we have a really nice leather wrapped steering wheel. Of course, all of your cruise control settings on the right, controls over on the left side as well. And then to fire it up, if we just press the button, being a hybrid, the engine won't always necessarily turn on, but then you can take a look at the gauge cluster, which is pretty familiar with other Toyota vehicles. As you can tell, we have settings and other information as well. For the climate right in the center, you can see your fan speed, you can have the toggle, you have the rear controls as well, dual zone temperature and everything like that. So really easy to configure that. We have heated seats, more controls, and then I like this shelf here. We have a USB, there's wireless phone charging, and it extends the entire dashboard. So really nice amount of space all underneath the dash. And you can see a little bit more stitching up above and the massive 14-inch screen. There's a little bit of a textured bezel to it, which is pretty cool. And then, like every modern Toyota, you have a very simple layout for everything. You can scroll through climate information, your front and rear. You're able to cycle everything like that. That's definitely a good touch. Vehicle alerts, if anything, and then various settings throughout this car. Now down below, you're going to see extra storage and cup holders, this cool texture. You have some drive modes as well. You have the EV mode and then different drive modes. So we can take a look at all that. Right now we're in the eco mode. If we scroll up, we have the normal as well as sport. Now the engine did fire up now that we have the air conditioning on and we're just sitting. So you can drive this in a few different ways. You have your shifter right here and a ton of storage all underneath. As you can tell, we have a lot of space here. Cup holders, this will pop down. You can open that up as well. And we have just a massive amount of cargo. You have 2 nice armrests in the center as well. And then one last look at the seat. Pretty cool looking with the texture, contrast stitching, and just a really open and roomy place to be. Now up above, we have our standard rear view mirror, all the controls for dome lights, the power liftgate, things like that. And then this one is going to have a manual sunshade for that roof. And then a good look all around. Definitely a pretty roomy vehicle, as you'd expect. So setting off now in the Sienna, if I go to EV mode, as you can tell, we are just driving in electric mode. This is great for just slow speed, you know, in a parking lot or something, maybe just pulling the car out of your driveway or your garage or something. But we're in pure EV. You can see the indicator right there showing the battery going on to the drive. I give it a little bit more throttle, as you can see, pressed it too far, and now we are in the normal eco mode. So this is going to basically be your hybrid drivetrain, as you would expect, where we're going to have a combination of the EV system giving you that low-end power, but also the engine helping out, and it will even show you a really cool depiction of the engine and the electronics doing their thing. So we're just going to start up in eco mode, kind of feel it out a little bit. Seating position, you're nice and high up, as you can tell. I got a good view with the windshield. I can really easily see over. I mean, there is endless visibility in this Toyota Sienna. You can see out so well over your right and left shoulder. I mean, nothing crazy at all. Really good views all around. And then if we play with the drive modes, we can toggle this up and down. Let's just go into normal mode right now as we get up onto the main road. Steering has a pretty good weight to it as well. And some acceleration. Not bad, that's 45. So with the transmission, obviously there's no like gear changes or anything crazy like that. But I mean, overall, it's still a peppy vehicle, especially for its weight and size. You hear a little bit of maybe some road noise. I wouldn't say it's anything crazy loud or anything, but I think just given the interior is so large, especially with nobody in here, there's a little bit of an echo in here, I would say. So you're just hearing a little bit of that wind noise around. I mean, I can hear that car passing. So road noise and wind noise, things like that. I mean, it's not a luxury vehicle, and you know, it's just an open, spacious cabin. So hopefully you can probably hear that a little bit. Suspension is nice and comfortable though. I mean, it's absorbing bumps really well. So I mean, this is, you know, a family car. This is something you're gonna be just hauling the kids, going on road trips, family vacations and things like that. It seems like, I mean, it's pretty comfortable for that. Of course, you have all the storage that we've seen, so definitely no issues there. Hitting the brakes, they do a pretty good job. Of course, a little bit of regen braking with the drive modes and just how it works. Now let's go into sport mode, and then we'll flip a UE, accelerate a little bit, feel it out. But it's kind of what you would expect. The seats are pretty comfortable. They're a little on the stiffer side, I would say. So you're definitely not gonna be in a plush riding car. Again, this isn't luxury, you know, this is more practical, more functional. That's kind of how it feels. The ease of operation, I like how we have physical climate controls. The LCD screen is really easy to see, so I'm not squinting or having to look, you know, in this dark area. And then obviously all of this is what you would expect with all the modern Toyotas. So it seems easy to use, same with the buttons here. The gauge cluster, pretty simple and seamless. And then everything else, you know, good armrests. Really can't complain. So whipping a U-turn, let's just feel out the turning circle, because I'm sure, Carly, this, you're gonna be, you know, driving this in parking lots. Wow, really tight into this middle lane. And then full throttle, just getting back up to 60. Not bad, so it's about what you would expect. But maneuverability seems pretty good, especially for the sizing of this. All right, so my honest thoughts now with the new 2025 Toyota Sienna. So like I said, this is kind of that vehicle you're buying for the functionality and the practicality. You're not exactly buying this to have some luxury experience or performance experience either. So for the practicality aspects, the way this thing works, even with their rear seat, the new sensors they've done, they're basically having a radar system up there to detect motion. So now if you happen to leave maybe a child or an animal in the back of this vehicle, when you get out of the car, it'll beep, it'll text you, it'll do different alerts in certain time frames to alert you with what's back there. Hopefully you're responsible enough to not forget your own children or pets in the backseat of your own car, but it's nice to at least have that type of technology in here just to make sure, I guess. And then with the storage solutions, you know, certain trim levels, you can get a refrigerator back there that can hold the 6 water bottles. There's DVD systems up there for a TV monitor, and quite a few creature comforts, even a vacuum system you can get in these cars. So this XSE, a little bit more sporty looking, it drives kind of like that. It's not luxurious, which I honestly was expecting it to drive a little bit more plush. It's a little bouncy, like you can feel the bumps, you can kind of hear the car shaking a little bit. Not to necessarily say that's a bad thing, it's just, it's a big open van. That's kind of what you get versus having like a normal SUV. So a little bit takes some getting used to from my perspective, just because I'm not used to minivans at all. But I would say for the functionality, the way the seats operate, the incredible legroom and room that you just generally have in the back seat of this, for a family car, this really is going to do the job. And I really like, at least for 2025, the interior fits, it works. It has the nice technology, the good screen with all the information you're going to need, the Apple CarPlay. So it's got a modern multimedia system. The gauge cluster gives you the information you're going to need. So it feels up to date and modern, and there is so many places to put stuff. This car is about that. You need to be able to put things somewhere and just use it for the day-to-day. And it seems like this really does have an awful lot of space. So ending thoughts with the Toyota Sienna, I also do like the hybrid system. You're going to get good MPG. You know, it's going to go a long distances before you need to be filling it up. And it gives you that little extra power, slow speed driving to where it's really easy and normal to drive. The transmission is smooth. It's just kind of easy. And you know, this is gonna be a car you're gonna be driving a lot, racking up a ton of miles, hitting those bumps right there. It still is a comfortable enough suspension to be able to handle just the day-to-day that you're gonna be throwing this thing's way. But there's a full look at the 2025 Toyota Sienna XSE. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for plenty more content to come, and I'll see you guys in the next video.